Hello, everyone. Drake Robinson here, and I have to talk about this Carmelo Anthony situation because it just highlights just how the standards are different for certain types of people, privileged people in particular, obviously. So, for those who don't know, Carmelo Anthony is this black teen who who unalived Austin a kid named Austin, I believe Metcalf. I could be wrong. If I am, I apologize. But yeah, he unalived him in school. They had some kind of dispute, and Carmelo Anthony took out a blade and took the life of another person. And now that was back. I think it was last year sometime. Now we're at the stage where he's being sentenced, and he was sentenced to 35, found guilty and sentenced to 35 years in jail. Now, the funny thing is that a lot of people are crying that, he was, a lot of people, celebrities who, can never just stick to acting, which 50% of them aren't good at. But, singing and sticking to their lane, they have to always weigh in on world issues as if they know anything about it. But they are like, and the people on the ground are like, oh, this is such a shame, the privileged people sticking up for themselves, obviously, sticking up for one of their own. Why am I surprised? And he was rightfully so sentenced to 35 years in jail. He should have been longer, in my opinion. He got what he deserved. He is a menace to society. He is a stain on the grass. He took the life of another person. You have to be evil to do that. And of course, we know the vast majority of the murders in this world are privileged people and they're evil, you know. You know, it's just like it's just like we see all the time in the news. Someone is getting their way through violence, and I don't condone violence in any way. And it's just sad to see. And the people who are condoning violence are saying, oh well, we feel for the Austin kid's family, but this kid, a lot of the black race hustlers, and let me tell you something, black people are the number one arbiters of violence, of just everything horrible that goes on in the world. Vast majority of it committed by black people. I'm sorry to say that's just a fact. They have no respect for themselves, no respect for them, for other people. They 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 are just, honestly, they're kind of just, especially I live in Chicago, so I see black on black violence all the time. I see it uh, on a regular basis. Thankfully, I don't live in like the hood area, but I'm fairly close to it, and I see that it's just predominant in that particular community, and it's just like they are like, not all, of course. I don't generalize on this channel. Like, I don't generalize with anyone, not even the modern females, even though I say a vast majority. But a vast majority of black people have this very criminal mindset where they are immune to anything, you know, that they they think they're immune to everything, and they are the number one arbiters of privilege. There are a lot of white people who are as well. I'm not saying, but for the most part, black people are very smug when it comes to that. And Carmelo Anthony thought he was gonna get away with the unaliving of another human being. and that's just not right. So this verdict is just. It is, these are the same people who were who praised, Derek Chauvin, when he was on, he quote unquote murdered George Floyd, even though I believe it was a fentanyl overdose. Plus, George Floyd was um, resisting arrest, but nonetheless. But yeah, it's just, being a typical, hood person he was. I I just, yeah, this verdict was 100% justified. Don't let the people in the media lie to you. You know, condolences to the Austin Metcalf family. And I genuinely hope that Carmelo Anthony has the worst time in prison. I'm not, I wish I could have a cup full of privileged people, blue pillar tears right now, because they're crying their eyes out right now, and I love it. I love it. I want to drink their tears for before I go to bed tonight. It is just a lovely, lovely situation when it comes to that aspect of it. But this whole story is really sad, though, in all seriousness. And yeah, those are just my 2 cents. But yeah, um, I'm out.